Hold on, gotta unmute. Mr. Darren, are you there? Oh, I have to change this shit also. It still says Diablo. This is definitely not Diablo. Let's change that real quick. I can see you. I can't hear you. And I can't see your little light, so I'm not sure if it's on or not.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, your filter's like right in the way of it, so I can't actually see if you're there or not. Oh, right.
What's up, man?
It was a long day.
Yeah?
Yeah. For the most part, it was just the fact that my face has been killing me.
Oh, your dental shit?
Yeah, my dental shit still. So hopefully by Friday, it'll all get taken care of. I won't have to worry about it anymore. Well, at least these teeth, and then I've got a bunch more. Travels, how you doing today? But yeah, other than that, it was a pretty easy day at work. It was just a bunch of traffic because, you know, working in Culver City and Hollywood, and it's just, I was on Santa Monica Boulevard, like, it was, I don't know, man. It just took so long to get home today.
That's LA, man. I remember going to DC and they tried warning me about the traffic there, and I just laughed at them. I'm like, do you guys know where I live? They're like, no, and I'm like, all right. Do you ever see the meme of the Christmas holiday traffic nightmare, like the worst traffic in the world? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's where I live.
Yeah.
The 405 freeway.
You mean the 405 parking lot?
Fuck. Pack a lunch, make a day of it.
It is. I think the Bloodhound Gang made a reference to it in one of their songs. They're so bored that they're just going to get stuck in traffic for a while.
I wouldn't be. I've never heard of it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. The album is called Hooray for Boobies. I remember that one. It was the same one that Bad Touch was on, the Mammal song. But I still have that album somewhere. The center of it, the center of the CD, actually says "insert tongue into circular hole to stimulate nipples." Like he just like reads it around, and I'm just like, "All right, that works." Dude, they were before their time, but I think they'd be canceled if they came out now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, dude, everything between the fucking, I'd go as far back as like the 60s all the way up to maybe the mid 2000s, dude, would be fucking canceled.
But fucking WAP is like celebrated as the best thing, and women's rights and all this other shit. And I'm just like, I still don't know how I feel about that song.
It's just the era of stupid we live in.
Oh, the best rendition of it, if you have not heard it, is Ben Shapiro sings WAP. And it's actually him, because he's sitting there when it first came out and everything. He's sitting there reading the lyrics. So someone put it in tempo, like speeding it up and splicing it to the actual beat of the song. So it's legit Ben Shapiro singing WAP.
Ben Shapiro, I like Ben Shapiro. It's just
he is a small angry man.
Every time he talks, it's like, I like him and I like his views, but the dude just talks like he's auctioning something.
So that was another one of those things. So I was watching one of his things on YouTube, and people are like, "Oh my god, he talks so fast." And they're like, "Yeah, just watch it at 0.75 and you'll be great."
That's a valid point.
There's actually a guy that I was trying to watch video game clips from. I forget his name now, but it's for Paladins. If you guys look up any Paladins game, you'll see him up there. But the guy talks so fast that I legit had to turn him down to like 0.75, and it actually sounds like a normal human being talking with just out breathing. So that was a thing.
That's why I've always been a bigger fan of like Candace Owens, because she just drives it home to the point with using the most of her time. So not like, if you have like 1 minute to make a point, she'll use that entire 1 minute, but you will not get lost with anything she says. So
Kaylee,
Kayleigh McEnany was kind of like that too.
So what? Trump Owen 2024?
No, okay. So if
They were
like,
joking
it's
about
way-
it actually, because Trump
I
was
know
actually on her show.
she would be a great VP pick. Don't get me wrong. It's way too early to make any kind of 2024 predictions. It always is when you're not even through the first year. But if you know Trump running in 2024 is a separate discussion. But if it's not him, who I think it should be, which would be a fantastic ticket, is Candace Owens as the primary and Kayleigh McEnany as a VP. Then the left no longer has an argument. They cannot call racism. They cannot call sexism. Nothing.
They'll still do it.
And then those two are on their fucking A game. They like they could you could give them a subject that they know nothing about, like fucking Hot Wheels. All right. They could know nothing about Hot Wheels, and within 24 hours, they're going to be a better expert than you.
I will challenge them on this one because I've been I've actually been collecting Hot Wheels for several years.
That's why I brought it up as an example. And it's not just Hot Wheels. I mean, you can take your pick, but those two women are so fucking smart that I would kind of fear for any opponent that they would debate against. I'd be worried about them.
So the funny thing is that I don't think Candace Owens is actually even old enough to run yet. She will be in 2024. So she would be
the 2026 ticket? Or I'm sorry, 2028.
No, she could do 2024. She'll be 35 in like 2024 by the time.
I think you have to be 35 already at the time that you register, because there's a whole process in going into a presidential ticket. I think you already have to be 35 at the time you register. So that's going to be a real small window for her to jump in if it's 2024.
But there's that. There's actually, yeah, I know we're being political, guys. Sorry, but the thing does say sometimes politics. But no, the media, they already know who they think is going to be the next president. DeSantis. They're already attacking him, saying that he is worse than Trump and he is the new Hitler.
Well, because they don't have anybody else to fight. It's like it's the same thing every fucking election. Anytime, a Republican wins, the Democrats feel cheated. Anytime the Democrats win, a Republican feels fucking cheated. It's the same fucking thing. Only the weird shit about this day and age is now that Trump's out of office and no longer in a governmental position, they no longer either they continue to bash on him because they have nobody else to bash on,
which is what they're doing.
Or when they're done bashing on him because he no longer has power, which is bullshit. He's a businessman. He's got more power than the president. They got to find somebody else to scapegoat.
Yep.
And funny enough, California instituted travel bans. This is recent too, on several states that are basically all states that were either planning to open early, already opened early, or have been on a conservative ticket for some time. So and that just kind of goes to show the lopsided thinking of the left right now.
So do you know what they're using as the excuse for a travel ban? It's only travel ban for government officials or doing official business from California.
Correct. That has nothing to do with civilians. I mean, let's make that clear.
But it is because they do not allow transgendered people to use the restroom that they identify with. They must use the restroom that is on their birth certificate. And that is the thing that they're using from a stipulation from 2016 in order to say that they will not condone this human rights violations.
Here's the thing about the whole transgender, binary, what the fuck ever you're gonna be. I don't care. Do whatever you do to your heart's content. Here's when it comes down to shit like bathrooms. All right. And I know you're gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna tee it off. So the Air Force back in
you son of a bitch.
Back in I want to say it was 2017 or 2018. I was still in when they instituted it, and it only lasted a fucking year. I don't think they're doing it anymore because they learned that grave mistake. but they added on their enlistment forms, and I think the commission forms, like you have to identify what your biological gender is. You have to have that on record. Why? Because you swore away your rights. Therefore, the government has to know everything about you. But they added in there, what do you identify as? And my instant thinking when we had a meeting on that is, what's to stop a boy with malevolent intent to say, I identify as a chick, I identify as a girl, so that way I get put into an entire female flight, 79 other fucking females, and this one male who claims to identify as a female and literally did it for malicious intent. There's nothing stopping them because they think that's what's right. So take that out of the context of the military and establish it in just normal society.
So
you have a like, what is it, a unisex bathroom? I suppose those are fine, but when you have the male and female bathrooms and you identify as a female, what's to stop you from using that restroom?
So there's actually a thing that just happened in LA where a woman was at a spa with her 2 or 3 or whatever young daughters, and they were in the changing room. And there was a transgendered woman in there that, pre-op, so out there walking around with their shit hanging out in front of children. Now, if I walk down the street and do that, I'm gonna end up on Megan's Law. All right?
Well, I mean, well, then how do you account for Hollywood? Like, you just stroll down the street in Hollywood and you're bound to find some fucking weird shit out there.
No, understood, but in the presence of small children whipping your shit out,
okay,
is grounds for Megan's Law.
Especially when you enter an establishment.
And the establishment is sitting there defending that person and the woman, and the thing is that they can't even claim that it's like a racial thing because it was a black woman complaining about it, and she was just straight up like, no, that's a dude with their dick hanging out. I'm quoting her. All right, guys.
Wait, it was the black woman with kids.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I thought it was the other way.
The black woman with the black woman with kids was in there, and she comes out to complain. But there's, no issues with it. And I'm just, like, my first thought when I heard the story is, anywhere else. I mean, I'm talking, like, if a dude walked into a bathroom and flashed women, you were a sexual predator. But now, if you're a dude and identify as a woman and flash women, you're championed?
Yeah, last time I checked, the dude that whipped out his dick in front of a chick is sexual assault, so...
So apparently pronouns are now grounds for dismissal of certain cases. Wait till this person was walking around a public restroom with no pants on, like in the public area, No, this person was in the changing room of a spa. In the women's changing room of a spa. And we're just walking around because
they were transgender or pre-op transgender. It was perfectly okay.
But because they were a woman in a female changing room, they didn't feel the need to put any clothing on or anything like that, so their male genitalia... I'm trying to be as politically correct about this as I can be.
Why? I mean...
Why? Because I would like to be able to get... Not till so... What?
Yeah, you may have to clarify your correction there.
Yeah, sorry, But anyway, yeah, they were... And anyway, this woman comes out and complains about it. And again, like, they were like, no, there's nothing wrong. Yes, the locker room area.
Yeah.
Like the spa changing area, like the locker room area.
So, okay, so here, the locker room is one of those... sad to say, it's one of those gray areas that is really touchy to remediate. And the reason why is, let's level the fucking playing field. None of this transgender binary, whatever. You have male and female. All right, keep it simple. All right.
So
Just for
we're
explanation.
so we're just ignoring the other 38 genders.
Yes. All right. Just for simplicity's sake, male and female locker rooms, right? All
Okay.
right. What happens in a locker room, regardless of gender? What is the expectation?
Privacy of some kind.
Yeah.
There actually is an expectation of privacy in a locker room and in a bathroom, which is why it is actually a felony to film in those places.
From what?
What do you mean?
Privacy from what?
It's okay. So there is expectation of privacy as far as you are not allowed to film, record, or anything, and that is a felony at that point if you are doing something like that. So there is still some expectation of privacy.
Okay. Okay. Why? Why should there be privacy in a locker room? It's a rhetorical question.
Because people are changing.
Bingo. People are changing in a locker room. And so how deep down are they changing? Are they just going down to the skivvies and swapping out? Or are they going fucking birthday suit?
Well, I guess in this one it was birthday suit, because...
Okay, most of the time in a locker room, you're going in your fucking birthday suit. I cannot tell you how many times I've been to the gym at a fucking YMCA or 24-hour fitness, and some dude in his 60s that's still used to the fucking Navy or the military or whatever branch they were in, literally down to their fucking birthday suit. All right. And to them, it's nothing of it. Why? Because that's it, especially for the military, that's just what we're used to. But that it's a locker room, especially if you played football and sports, same shit. That's what you're used to. And the reason why you're used to that is because everyone of the same gender is in that locker room. So, with I'm keeping things simple, male and female, heterosexual. I'm not even broaching homosexual or anything like that. Keeping things simple for now. When you're in a locker room like that, the reason why there is this expectation of privacy is because of the fact that there is going to be a high probability of fucking nudity. Why? Because you're changing. You're going in from one gear to the other. You're hitting a shower. You're doing something. All right. Now throw in the variables. So homosexuality. All right. And it doesn't matter what gender at that point, gay or lesbian. When in my basic training flight, I think there was at least one person that was already out of the closet, so to speak. I mean, you really couldn't hide it. But I think there was one other that was homosexual. None of us had a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, okay, cool. All of us, we just hit the shower because that's what we needed to do. Why? The shit that we dealt with during the day did not there was nothing that amounted or that was more important in terms of privacy than hitting the fucking shower, because we really needed it. All right. So at that point, perception goes out the fucking window. And there were some cats deep from the fucking South that have never met a white person before, or never met a black person before, or never even met a homosexual before, and they were perfectly fucking fine with it. Now, again, in a locker room, that is that expectation. So when you throw other monkeys or other monkey wrenches into the situation, like transgender or whatever, you're asking for trouble. So when it comes to locker rooms and kids being in there, I kind of want to blame the parent a little bit, because you kind of want to keep them out of that situation, since that's not what they're used to yet. When I was in junior high, there were kids full on fucking changing in the locker room. We had locker rooms in junior high. I think did you go to Valley View?
Yeah, the thing is that we did not do full change. We were all too, we were all still hitting puberty and were afraid of, dick size and whatever else. So,
fear's irrelevant. All right. It's a normal thing, especially in junior high. In high school, fear's a little less out of the question, especially if you play sports. But when I was in junior high, we had full-on locker rooms, and I would say maybe 10% of them were full-on changing. By the time I hit high school, easily 75% of the locker room was full changing.
Yeah, same thing. And even in high school, like, most people just, like, I know the girls would come out like having like shampooed their hair and shit like that after
Mhm.
But the guys, I think I maybe saw one or two people in, the 2 years I had PE that actually used the showers just during
Not in my
PE.
2 years.
I wasn't
It
I wasn't in any of the sports.
right.
And
Neither was I.
I was in theater with you, and I mean shit, we had even
Yeah.
less we cared even less about people seeing us change. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I was, dropped trout a few times in that back theater room because of quick changes.
Yeah. But separate discussion. But when I had my first 2 years of I'm PE, in freshman and sophomore year of high school, I would say easily 50 to 75%, mostly all sports people, were full on changing in the locker room. But that was an expectation there.
Mhm.
So when it comes to, I would say probably 13 and under, yeah, you probably want to keep them away from the locker rooms. All right.
Yeah,
We
see,
had showers in our school locker rooms, and your high never got used. Yeah, again, everybody's experience is different, but I would, I don't want to say it's a problem with this generation as far as like what we're teaching kids or whatever, but it really does start at home. So, like, my nephew is turning 12 this year, 12,
you're a horrible
and
uncle.
I know I'm a horrible uncle. And
Are you that drunk uncle that just doesn't remember things, but you're really fun?
no, no, not at all.
Okay, so there's always the one drunk uncle. So does he have?
I
does
remember all the bullshit my nephew's done to me.
But does he have a drunk uncle?
Does he have a drunk uncle? If there's anyone closest to it, it's me, and I'm not drunk. So, no. But my nephew is, getting to that age where he's gonna, if he chooses to go through sports, and I know he's into martial arts, he's gonna start encountering that where he's gonna full change in locker rooms even before he's 18. And there's probably going to be coaches in and around there. And by definition, that would be a violation in Megan's Law. But locker rooms are a bit of a gray area. So it's one of those weird things where in your story, I kind of want to blame the parent for having the kids in the locker area.
And
they
the
clearly they didn't belong there.
Well, okay, so they take them to do a spa day, right? And here's the thing, all right? If I'm walking into a men's locker room somewhere, whether it's the YMCA or whatever, I am not expecting to see a vagina.
Right.
Like I that is not an expectation, okay? And this woman might have gone there. I don't know if it is. I'm going to speculate on this one. She might have gone there several times. It might have been her first time. But going into a female locker room, you don't expect to see male genitalia. You don't expect to see a dick flopping around.
Now, and that's where the variables come in. All right. So if you identify as a fucking female and you wind up in a female locker room, all right, that's number one issue. Number two, did this person deliberately whip out their fucking, wiener schnitzel for all eyes to see, not just who we're talking about? Was it done deliberately towards who we were talking about? Were they just changing nonchalantly? I mean, there's a number of avenues there that already hit the yellow light. So I think the proximate cause of damage sort of, and that, which is illegal, Skippy would know what that is. The proximate cause of damage, I would say, falls upon the parent for having kids in an area where they just didn't belong. But if this person did it deliberately, knowing they were in there, different story, and it supports our fucking point.
So here's my question then. Even because you know how in order to prove something, you have to prove intent, right? Fine. So
in most cases, you have to prove intent.
Okay, but let's say that there is no intent there but it is still a grown person with male genitalia showing it off to minors.
Okay.
Is there still some grounds for something legal there?
What is the law?
I mean, I would have to go look it up.
All right, we'll play law for dummies. So in the state of California, if you identify as a female, you're entitled to go to the female locker room. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe yes.
Okay, for fuck's sakes, let's just say yes.
Okay.
So, was that person legally entitled to be in that locker room because they identified as a female, therefore they got to use the female locker room? Were they legally entitled to be there?
I guess.
Okay. So now it's a question of, did this person do it deliberately? Did they like fucking fling around the winger schlitzel in front of the kids? Deliberately?
Like I said, there have been go ahead.
You got a very thin margin of error for sexual assault in a fucking locker room. All right. Now the margin of error is a lot wider when you go out into the public. All right. Especially at places like a club. All right. But when you're in the locker room, the margin of error is very, very fucking thin. So if this person is just changing nonchalantly, and the law is that this person is allowed to be in that locker room because that is the gender they identify as, not who they biologically are, then there's no law broken.
So then what bathrooms or locker rooms or whatever are gender non-binary people supposed to use?
That again, this is where we're just fucking, we're overcomplicating.
Okay, by the way,
simplest shit.
I did want to bring this one thing up, all right? I actually heard this a couple days ago, and then we're going to get into roasting the shit out of you. Actually, two more things I wanted to bring up. One of them is like a quick piggyback off of that, and that is that schools are now going to be required to have the children use the locker room and bathrooms of the sex that they identify as. Now, here's the thing. I actually worked at a high school for a while, all right?
Yeah, I know.
And there were some students that actually flip-flop back and forth several times throughout their time at the high school.
Surprise.
Now that becomes a real gray area, because now, I mean, at Cal Poly we had separate locker rooms for non-binary people. Wow. Go Cal Poly.
Whatever. Go you.
But the whole thing is that
not go you Missa, go you Cal Poly. But...
well, go you Missa also.
Go you Missa.
Kind of on the same thing. We're going to go into a quick story time about me. All right. So growing up, and you might have thought this too at some point, Darren. A lot of people thought I was gay.
No.
Like a large percentage of people thought I was gay.
Not you. Two others.
But here's the funny thing. It went so far that the parents of girls thought I was gay and would allow their daughters to stay the night at my house because they thought I was gay.
But that's just an error in judgment.
I've never said that I was gay. They never told their parents that I was gay. But it was
how many times does a straight chick get involved with an abusive guy? Why? Because it was an error in judgment. Same fucking bullshit. No, because if a parent sees you not as a threat, and let's just say for funsies that you were some fucking,
hi
criminal predator, whatever, is that not an error in judgment on the parent?
Yes.
There you go. So an error in judgment is completely different than the law allowing or.
Oh, we lost him. He kind of has a constipated face, though. Oh. He'll be back in a minute, guys. You know what? That is right on time.
It kind of is.
No, like it is right on time. I am at 37. I'm at 38 minutes right now for being live. And
where am I at? 32. So every what,
30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, your Discord crashes.
Well, it's got to be a little bit more than that because I signed it. So probably let's call it 33 minutes.
Okay.
Because yeah. But anyway, that's exactly it. An error in judgment is different than an error for what the law facilitates.
All right. So there's that. But now, yeah. I never corrected them. Okay. I never corrected their parents. Some of like the other ones had like older, younger sisters, whatever, and they would be like, "He's not gay." What do you mean? Oh, he's not gay. There's no other way to say you're not gay than you're not gay. I don't know if it was the fact that I was in choir, because it was in theater, whatever it was. I mean, it's the fact that I still have this like slightly gay-sounding lispy voice. I understand that.
Probably both. It was. I'm not kidding. It was probably both choir and theater.
That's fine. So here's my question for that whole thing. If a guy now just randomly starts walking into a women's locker room in high school, does the faculty even stop him anymore?
Well, okay,
because
you got two different avenues there.
Because you actually cannot ask what they identify as.
That's one.
So,
what's
and then
the other?
Oh fuck! I don't know what the other one is.
So you have sexual profiling on one side, and you got sexual assault on the other.
So, but that's my new one that's going to be coming up. And I know it's going to be coming up because it's already come up. By the way, there is a push now, because I don't know if you were aware that like the LGBTQ plus community had this whole thing of one love.
I hate that. Can they at least come up with a simpler acronym?
I mean, we could actually just say queer. I've had a conversation with people, and just the word queer encompasses all of it, because it is not the norm. And it is queer.
Because I've known like a couple of gay people to even hate that acronym. Be like,
they do.
This is the longest fucking ridiculous acronym. Even the military doesn't have that ridiculous of acronyms. And if we do, we don't pronounce each fucking letter. We actually say it like
we say Humvee.
Like an Air Force manual is an AFMAN. All right. There's DTS, and then there's an AFMAN.
Well, we have Humvee, which stands for High Mobility Multi-Wheeled Vehicle. But we say Humvee. Oh,
there you go.
But anyway.
Not to knock that community, but it's like, dude, come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have never actually met someone that is Two-Spirit.
What the fuck is it? Oh, wait, you were explaining this to me once.
Yes.
Isn't it like a spirit of an animal?
Yes. I have never met a Two-Spirit person. I've seen those like random videos of people pretending to be horses. And so I'm just wondering, is like Two-Spirit just like a furry? Or is it...
You know what a furry is, right?
Yes, I know what a furry is, but I'm just wondering that if you like identify... Because like furry is technically just a kink, right? Like it's not a sexual preference, it's just kind of what you do in the bedroom. You throw on like horse ears and a fucking collar and a butt plug that's a tail. Whatever the fuck it happens to be, but that's what it is, right?
I'm so going to hell for this, but I wouldn't mind meeting a two-spirited chick that thought she was a jackrabbit, because that'd be the best sex ever.
Or not, because she gets pregnant after every 3 pumps.
I know, right?
Darren, meet your 68 new children. Ready for round 2? I've heard that it's more like a Native American people that have shaman and healers that identify with animals along with humans. Okay, that works, and I'm okay with that. But that to me is more of a religious, cultural thing. That is not a sexuality thing.
Which I'm perfectly cool with. Again, it's not that any of this shit that I'm not perfectly cool with. I think of things in terms of the law. So, kind of like my Air Force story with your, what was it, the elementary school or high school that they're introducing that shit with?
Junior high and high schools are going to be mandated in California.
Exactly my Air Force fucking story. You just wait until the first fucking rape story comes out because a boy identified as a female.
Already has. They've covered it.
Who's covered it? Because clearly it's not gotten enough traction.
No. They covered it, as in it was an army
they
thing.
Buried it.
Yes, they buried it.
Buried the story. Okay,
the army. It's already happened with the army, and it happens quite a bit with the.
I'm talking high school, high school and junior high level. You wait until the first fucking rape story comes out because some boy identified as a female and got frisky.
I'm talking about the allowance of females into combat units.
This is like Darren, you were going to hell long before that. Nissa, there's people that are riding the bus to hell, and then there's those who are employed to drive it. All right.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there with you. But it'll be a fun trip.
Probably. I'd make you my hood ornament.
Why?
Just to fuck with you. Hey, it'll be a great barbecue.
Oh my god. All right, so when they introduced females into the combat units, like 100% go them. There were a couple of females that completed Ranger School.
Right.
Okay? Awesome. Until you realize that they were using the female standards, not the male standards in Ranger School. So their max out on push-ups at that time was 42. That is the male minimum, and you'd never make it.
And, yeah, and again, it sucks saying this, but things like that with the military, when you try and integrate gender, it is sad to say nothing new. But that's why they segregate the genders at an early fucking level. Now, we're not talking about the military because that's its own fucking can of worms and that has its own fucking repercussions.
The only reason I'm bringing up basic training and those types of things is because basic training is fucking high school. You are treated like you're treated like you're 5.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that.
I understand that.
But in high school and the junior high level, the law applies differently to a certain extent because after the age of 13 in majority of states, you could be tried as an adult instead of a juvenile, depending on the crime.
Yep.
And to where the parent no longer has a say. However, the parent still holds the liability from a financial standpoint should the victim's family choose to do anything about it. And those are the things that nobody's fucking thinking about when you, again, I have no problem with transgender. I have no problem with homosexuals. I grew up with a homosexual, all right? I don't care. None of that bothers me. But I think in terms of the law and foresight, that if you're going to allow high school and junior high kids to identify as a fucking gender so they can use the locker rooms that they identify as, there's nothing stopping a boy with malicious intent to give you your first fucking rape charge. And I guarantee you, no one on one particular side of the media is going to cover it. Guarantee you.
No, I'm pretty sure that the conservative side of it would love to cover it because that would be their "I told you so" type thing.
I said the left, not conservative.
No, you said no one on either side of the media would cover it.
I said no one on one particular side.
Oh.
I was trying to be ambiguous, but
no,
you outed me on that one.
Yes. So there's that.
Bring up your
fucking... No, one more. I am drawing this out.
Are you saving it for the second half?
I don't know. It's gonna take a while for me to crack all my jokes. But
beer for it.
Probably. The last one is that there is actually, and he's garnered quite a huge following. There was like a 7-year-old that came out as trans. So not even hitting puberty yet, and they're actually saying now, like child psychologists are saying that it is easier and better for children that are identifying as the other sex to start before puberty because because hormone blockers are much more effective and that they can live how they want to live at that age. So here we are trusting a child with literally a lifelong decision when we trust them with literally nothing else.
Yeah, because we all know, as much as I love kids, we all know that children know everything in the world at such an early age to make ample, adequate, intelligible decisions.
I knew everything. And then I grew up and realized I knew nothing.
Encyclopedia Britannica. I was wise.
I used to have that whole set, actually.
I had a neighbor that had the whole set.
We had it for years, and then every year you would get a new book that would then fill in for that year, just to give you like all the current events and whatever that happened that year that kind of like filled in for the rest of it.
Here's the question that I have with that fucking story. The question that I would have for the parents is I would ask them, do you look for meats that have no injections in them? Do you look for salads that have no MSG in it? Are you do you try and buy organic foods? Then why the fuck are you giving clearly non-organic hormone blockers to a fucking child?
Yep.
Mm.
So anyway, guys, what we have been alluding to this whole time.
This is my temper is like raging at some point.
The Navy is no longer the gayest branch of the military.
Oh, fuck off. I know where you're going now.
So, last week, the Air Force, the branch that Darren was in, for how long, Darren? So, they had their first Air Force official and sponsored drag show on base. Their response to this was, it's going to help with effective and readiness for the troops.
That's where I cringe.
Oh.
Okay. I'm tally number one for those playing the home game.
Yep.
I am proud of my service. I am proud of what I did. I am proud of the Air Force. I never call myself an airman. Cool. Great. I will, however, be the first person in line to shit on my fucking branch when they do something stupid. And I'm sorry, but I'm about to have explosive diarrhea on this shit. All right? When it comes to morale and wellness, the word stupid's not a 5-letter word. All right? Anything and everything's on the fucking table when it comes to morale. And I'm, for the most part, cool with that. Why? Because there are times I have dressed in drag for Halloween. Thank you, Dravos. I think Doc actually remembers this. I have the photo.
Yes, I was. So I believe that was the time you only shaved one leg.
I never shaved my legs ever.
Okay, for some reason. Okay, then it wasn't. Was it Jay that shaved one leg?
It might have been.
It was either you, Jay, or Billy. It was one of the three of you, or yeah, you, Jay, or Billy. One of the three of you did it.
It was Jay for sure, because I think he was getting a tattoo at that time. So, and I think he was 18 because I was for sure 18 at senior year.
Okay.
It's definitely Jay then. But anyway, when it comes to morale, the word stupid is on the fucking table. Anything's up for grabs when it comes to morale. And I'm generally okay with that. Why? Because in some instances, morale's fucking important. All right?
Morale does not exist in the military, okay?
I never said whether or not it existed in the military. I said in some instances, things for morale is okay.
Oh my god.
But when you're going to talk about a fucking drag show for the purpose of readiness, I'm sorry, when was the last time you went out in dress blues skirts in the middle of fucking Jalalabad to stop a terrorist? How the fuck does this event have anything to do with readiness? Someone explain this to me before I lose my shit.
Quote, ensuring our race reflect and inclusive of the American people is essential to the morale, cohesion, and readiness of the military, McGarry said. Hold on. Nellis Air Force Base is committed to providing... Oh, hold on, where'd it go? Nellis Air Force Base is committed to providing and championing an environment that is characterized by equal opportunity, diversity, and inclusion.
I'm okay with all that. I'm not okay with the word readiness. Because it has nothing to do with it. You might as well dress up as the fucking Easter Bunny and go in the middle of fucking Tikrit.
The event was planned by the Nellis Air Force Base Pride Committee, which is composed of volunteers from across the base focused on diversity and inclusion initiatives, said Nellis spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Brian McGarry. It was sponsored by the Nellis Top 3, a private group meant to enhance the morale, esprit de corps of all enlisted personnel assigned to the 99th Air Base Wing and facilitate cooperation between members of the top 3 enlisted grades, according to the group's Facebook page.
I have no problem with any of this. The only problem that I have with all of this is their focus was readiness. This drag show is going to protect us from nuclear missiles. It's going to protect us from suicide bombers.
You know what? It might protect...
B-52 is going to stop a machine gun.
It might protect us from suicide bombers. They want nothing to do with gay people.
What the fuck?
So... Oh...
No, I'm inhaling and exhaling as I get each fucking diatribe out, Dravos. So we're good. But I don't. All that shit I'm fine with, but it's the word readiness. How does any of that prevent us from an invasion? How does any of that prevent us from a fucking nuke coming over?
Oh, you're really gonna freak then when you hear what is on the.
The Ayatollah's gonna stop because we got a drag show coming. I need tutus. I mean, is that the level we're at?
You're really You're really about to shit bricks then when you tell you what's on the recommended reading list now for the Officers Academy.
I don't give a fuck. All right. You prepare. You can have the best fucking. I'm sorry, the Marine Corps best fucking boot camp when it comes to prepping someone for a wartime. Are they really prepared for war?
Hi.
No, nobody really is. Doesn't matter. You can take all the training in the world, and the first time you see blood and guts or a bullet come by, you could be a deer in fucking headlights. So you can't really prep anybody for war to that matter. So I don't give a fuck what they try. I mean, I do give to a certain extent a fuck what they teach people in schools and basic military training.
No. Just wait. Just wait to hear what it is. Go ahead and finish your rant.
No. Go ahead. You've teed this up pretty well. One slipped by you.
Just time him. Yeah, I've just been timing him out because they never post more than one. Whoa!
Ooh.
I am famous. Woo!
Wow.
Damn. But like I said, they only post once. Wow. There's another one. Am I gonna get view on it?
What you?
Any more?
Anybody else want to test us? I got my fly swatter ready.
But do you know who Abram X. Kendi is?
No.
He is one of the big proponents of critical race theory. The whole white guilt, all of that, right? So his book.
Whoa.
What as well?
Whoa! Ray with the clutch, gifting 5 subs. Thanks, man.
Wow, Ray.
Is that for me losing my shit?
You know, there's only one of those people I don't know who that is.
That's Ray.
No, the very top person. I have no idea who Montensan is.
What?
Yeah, because you got RJ, you got Heather, you got Seth, you got Marani, and then you've got, I don't know who that dude at the top is.
Oh, I see some of them. Anyway.
I see all. I see everything.
Thanks for the subs, man.
But
I salute you.
But yeah, that and the 1619 project are now on the.
Good. It's only a matter of time. I think I remember hearing. I think it was a couple weeks back that the SecDef
Yep.
was instituting critical race theory in the military. It's like, my fucking god.
Yep.
That you just whatever. I hope at some point that the military just looks at this and laughs, because the last thing the enemy gives a fuck about is critical race theory. So therefore, the last thing we should give a fuck about is critical.
Drop, I love you. Thank you for the sub, for the gifted sub to Dravos. Yeah, Darren.
I was not expecting that, Ray. You are the man. By the way, if anyone has not watched Ray when he streams, he is the funniest angry gamer I know.
He needs to stream more often.
I know. Him, you, and Heather.
You and Heather both need to stream more often. And by the way, tell Heather to get rid of her turtlenecks, show a little cleavage. Followers will just fall into it.
Viewers will show up.
That's all it is. Followers, just the more cleavage you show, the more followers fall into it.
Ray would be like, dude, I've told her that. She doesn't listen.
We actually talked about Heather getting making an OnlyFans to start paying for shit. Like,
oh god, like just for feet. I think that was the subject.
That was the subject. That was yeah, new friends.
Ray's like, I got you. Heather, stream. Yeah, dude, those conversations are screaming.
Can I just
stupid in this world?
Can I just point out how happy I am to be out?
Out
of the military?
Oh my god, yes. My IRR ends next month.
So
it's
you're
officially done.
So you're about to get stop loss in the next like 15 days.
That sucked.
When I was in the turn up for Iraq, we actually had someone that got stop lost with like 2.5 months left on his IRR for a 400-day orders.
What I do know is my old office, for probably 2 to 5 years before I joined, they were not offering an enlistment bonus for my career field. So I never got one.
I didn't either.
I think a year after, actually it was a couple months ago that I went to someone in my old office was retiring. They invited me to the luncheon. I went there and come to find out that they started offering a incentive bonus for enlisting, and incentive bonuses only go to critically needed fields. And so that means they're fucking hurting. So if I get stop loss before the fucking 13th, I wouldn't be surprised. Put me on a fucking AGR tour. Be some bullshit.
Yeah, they MPs for the longest time, because I was considered prior service, I didn't get a bonus. But most of the MPs were getting $15,000 and $20,000 enlistment bonuses for the reserves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, yeah, I got fucked. And people are like, if you don't do this, you don't do that, we're going to take back your bonus. And I'm like, ha, joke's on you.
I never got one.
Shit, you guys probably owe me back pay for taking taxes out of shit that you shouldn't have.
I'm starting to wonder if Ray and Heather jumped in the middle of my fucking tantrum. And that's probably why Ray donated and gifted the subs, because he probably felt bad because of my tantrum.
Hey, you're the one to be like proud of. Do we call you guys the new Navy? What do we call you guys now? Like, what do we call?
No. It depends on the decisions. As of right now, idiots.
I think he.
Thank you, Heather.
Oh. Hey, Drop, you just got gifted a sub over on Darren's side.
Heather! Thank you! I salute you.
So...
Oh, my avatar. I was thinking about doing that.
That's honestly how I used to salute my old first sergeant. And see him just... Commodore! He's like, Gabriel, what the fuck are you doing? Giving you the respect you deserve.
That was a pretty entertaining tantrum. I have to admit. If you get me on the right fucking subject where it's like, I know this is stupid, it's just nobody else is, or not everybody is realizing this, but this is fucking stupid. Yes, the veins start coming out and the blood pressure starts rising, and
we can keep on the same exact topic because there is another quick transition that we can do, and that is women's weightlifting.
I'm actually cool with this. Let's save it for after the break. This is a perfect time to take
You
a
and your
segue.
tiny bladder.
Well, I also need another beer because, like Call of Duty, you drive me to drink.
I drive you to drink.
At least this stream.
Wow. All right. I'm sorry, drop. Epsilon, you just missed Darren's head almost exploding. Like, it was... By the way, Darren, you might want to restart Discord because you're coming up to about the time that your shit's gonna crash.
Well, I figure in this time it's just gonna crash on its own, and then I'll be back. So, be right back, guys.
So Discord, let's see. When did Discord ping? Because I thought I got it pretty early on. Yeah, Discord pinged at 5:59. And then it pinged again at 6:01. Well, it didn't ping, but it went off again at 6:01 for when Darren went live. Oh. But yeah, it's yeah, stupid phones. I mean, you were totally in your right to blame Discord. Let's be honest. Discord is a fucked program. It hates all of us. Guys, my shirt's backwards to you guys, right? Like, that's what you see is my shirt backwards? Because I need to yeah? Okay, because I need to figure out how to flip this thing. Because I really want you guys to be able to read whatever the shirt says. Like, this one just says, why are you like this? Yes. With the hat, of course. The store will be up and running soon. I am waiting on an artist to get back to me about kind of like a little more of a... but it's going to be a little more of a high-def type of logo, because I love Ray for what he did and everything else, but we just want it to look cleaner. So, we might just keep the old one up there also for people. As of right now, there is... I've been saying it for years. It was my catchphrase for Drop for the longest time. Speaking of Drop, how is your raid going, Mr. Bombshell? You should have started it, like, what, 2 hours ago? Oh, also, I did not realize that me leaving the server would pull the Me 6 bot, so my bad. Got it. Yeah, so as of right now, there's only one person that has a shirt that has this, other than myself, and it's a little different because it actually has the Twitch URL, like, right up here. Actually, I'll go grab the sweater real quick so you guys can actually see what it looks like. Drop, I don't know if... I know Me 6 is there. I don't know if you have, like, the Me 6 Prime still or not. Because I am no longer on that server. Like, it doesn't even show up on my... But it pulled the license. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to show you this thing. So, like I said, same kind of a design, except that it has the Twitch URL up there. But yeah, oops. But this is the first hoodie. It's actually pretty comfortable, pretty soft. I don't know how it's gonna go through. How it's gonna do through washes. It's really thin though, so I wasn't sure if I really wanted to put this out there. But it actually is kind of a good. This over here is a little flimsy feeling, but the speech bubble feels good. So I don't know. But this one is actually going to my mom. It is the only hoodie that we have ordered so far, that we have made. Also, for everyone that is here, make sure that you're here on Saturday for John Wick 3. It'll start you ever get a zip-up jacket? See, I like hoodies over like the zip-ups and that kind of stuff, but
For the camera to come back. There we go.
but yeah, well, we'll take requests on what we should do. As of this moment, the only things that were up there were a t-shirt, the sweater, a the JW series. What is the JW series? Oh, really?
John Wick. Even I knew that. I've never seen John Wick. Even I knew that.
You know, Darren, you're not going to be allowed to have an opinion on movies anymore, like, at all.
What? What's this bullshit?
Hey, Darren, how was that new Mortal Kombat movie that you still haven't seen?
Don't open that fucking coffin, dude. Don't open it.
How was that movie that I stayed up to watch that I could discuss it with you, and you never even watched?
No, don't open that can of worms. We've already been over this. I've brown beat the fuck out of that film.
That he's never
Not
seen.
even needing to see it. Not even needing to see it. Because I already knew it was going to be a shit film, and both you and Weapon confirmed it for me.
The thing is, it's like I said the whole way through. If you go into it knowing nothing about Mortal Kombat, it's not horrible.
And that was my prediction from the beginning. It's like, if you know nothing of the lore, it might be a good film.
Thank you.
No, Missa. All right. I thought you were cool before. Don't fuck this up.
Ooh.
Don't take his side.
You do see that it literally says chick with a knife, right? Like, do you really want to fuck with that?
MK game, yes, Mortal Kombat does have lore. It's very extensive. It out of all the lores that I know, probably the only like game story that rivals that would probably be The Legend of Zelda.
That is Drop.
Hey, what's up, man?
This is Drop
What's
up here.
up? Not much.
Epsilon's like, who the fuck is that in the top right?
Somebody you haven't seen in a while.
But so the entire whoops, is Missa home? I think Missa might be home. Anyway, yes, this is what a witch doctor looks like. You all thought it was like this little dude from like Ethiopia. It's not. It's actually a guy from Ohio. But so do you know what makes no sense to me about your Mortal Kombat lore? Do you have any idea how many times I have ripped off the head of Sub-Zero and yet he still keeps coming back?
So the explanation, are you talking about just like fatalities in
Yes.
general? All right.
How many times
So-
I have to like rip the arms off of Baraka, and yet you're still freaking out about it doesn't match the lore.
And this is where I agree that it can get complicated, but basically in
Fighting
each
game
game
shouldn't have lore.
in each game, only one character one or two characters' endings is canon. Everybody else is for the sake of the fact that you beat the game with this person. I think at some point down the road, they made the endings all canon and relevant. But years ago, they didn't do that. No, I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just getting pissed that you're taking, Doc's side here. And I'm sorry, the Mortal Kombat film, no, trash.
You know what? I might have to play it on a movie night so that everyone will see it except for Darren.
That's fine. I don't give a
So
fuck.
everyone's opinion will matter.
Because then there would be more people that would agree with me.
But they'd have seen the movie, so their opinions will matter.
Don't give a fuck.
It's like this, okay? You don't have a oh my god. Puppies, 1 sec.
See? Drowned by puppies. That's what you get.
But puppies are awesome.
I love my puppies, but oh my god, are they loud.
But Joe's dog does the same fucking thing. And it doesn't matter who shows up.
Epsilon, what part of Indiana do you live in? Because, like, everyone out in that area might just try to set up a lunch in October to just be like, come over, see me, have lunch. I'm actually going to try to meet up with Tweakin at that point. She also lives in Indiana. Like, I don't know why all of you guys live in, like, the same little, like, strip of the U.S.
Well, because there's nothing else to do here but play video games and watch streams.
But there's, like, in as much as I'm not an outdoorsy kind of person, I don't mind like hikes and trails and shit. And you guys don't have any of that out there?
They should. They should have something. I mean, it's the middle of fucking nowhere.
Depending on where you go. Some of the places, if you really want to go hike, you might get shot.
Okay.
Might get shot?
Well, yeah, they might think you're a deer, or, the whole hills have eyes type shit.
Oh. Looks like a deer. Ooh, sorry, Bob.
Yeah, that actually is a huge issue with hunting, which is why you have to wear, at least in California, I don't know how the rest of the U.S. is, but you have to wear like 60% of what you're wearing is supposed to be like reflective and like bright colors of some kind. Which I think
yellow or reflective silver.
Yeah, which is funny because I'm like, doesn't that like defeat the point of camouflage?
Yeah.
My drill sergeants be so pissed. They're like, they got pissed about me wearing white socks. Could you imagine me showing up to range in an orange vest?
Right.
Hey, at least
it depends.
Go ahead.
Because you only have to wear that on public land, which is the big problem.
Oh, is it?
Because if you're hunting on private land, you don't have to wear it if you own the property.
Oh.
I mean, that makes sense in terms of the lanes of authority, but even on the public setting, it's still kind of stupid.
And he's gone. Guys, we called it. He didn't reset his Discord. So guess what? It crashed. We knew it was coming. Like we knew this was coming. Dravos, how close is that to actually Indianapolis? And Epsilon, how close do you live to Indianapolis? I'm telling you. So it is roughly 38 minutes. That's what we're looking at, Darren. You have a crash every 35 to 38 minutes. 20 minutes from there, huh? All right, well, I might just have to like get a hold of everyone and be like, hey guys, I'm going to be here. Come have lunch with me.
Oh.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not that far, I guess. Like, okay, here's the thing. Being out in California, right, it would take me more time than that right now to drive to Darren.
That's what's in traffic.
That's just straight traffic.
Your nominal commute, no traffic, probably like, what, 45 minutes?
Yeah, give or take. Here, I actually took a picture. Hold on, where is it? Because I wanted to actually put this up as welcome to California.
So yeah, from where you live, probably 30 to 45 minutes, no traffic whatsoever.
All right,
but
they're gonna show up.
It's blurry.
It's
Yeah, it's not gonna.
It's my filter. Hold on. I'll fix this. Anyway, fuck it. I'll just read it to you. It was 17 miles. 1 hour, 1 minute.
So wait, 17 miles? No, that would only take you like 20 minutes to get here.
No. This was
traffic.
no. This was from Hollywood to my house.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Hollywood to your house. Yeah, it's about 20 minutes without traffic.
Yeah. Actually, because of how close the freeway was and how close I lived to the freeway, it should be about 17 minutes. Like it's literally a mile to a minute. Because
No joke, the traffic is not to be underestimated in California, especially when you're in like the metropolitan LA area.
and
Dude,
like,
it can get fucking unreal.
so people always ask, so like, how far do you live from this place? And people in California will be like, half hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on traffic. And people are like, no, like how far, like distance? Fuck, I don't know. I have no idea how far it is from like point A to point B without looking at Google Maps. And even then, it's going to be taking me in this like random ass roundabout way to avoid like the 6 homeless people that are having like some kind of a brawl on the middle of Imperial Highway. Like, I'm going to be rerouted around this shit at some point.
The most common thing I get asked when I go out of state and I tell them, yeah, I'm from California, the most common thing they ask is, oh, do you meet any celebrities? And the answer is yes. I mean, if you live in Southern California, especially when you're like where I live, is just I think a little bit northwest of Sherwood, Lake Sherwood. But I'm in the whole Thousand Oaks area where several celebrities are.
Yeah, I mean, we went to school with people that were on Nickelodeon, and
But I live on one side of the hill of Hollywood and Bel Air and Beverly Hills. You live on the other side of that hill. So yeah, you're gonna run into them, and to us, it's fucking nothing.
It's cool, unless it's Kevin Hart, and then I'm like, fuck. One, it's gonna be a shit ton of traffic, and two, the dude annoys the shit out of me.
I don't mind Kevin Hart so much. Just his stand-up. His movies are very lackluster. But
it's
his
like,
stand-up is... I like his stand-up.
the worst movie I think I could ever see would be one with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. They did? What was it called? So I never look it up, and I clear my internet search and...
Things that your smartphones can answer.
Oh, I don't want to look. It sounds so bad. Anyway, Epsilon, I will be out there, like, dead center of October. So if you did want to meet up at that point, yes, it'd be a little bit of a drive, but if you wanted to, it'd be kind of cool.
But they did do a movie together. Again, I hate Will Ferrell in general. When he's a cameo in a film, he's funny. When he is the lead, I can't fucking stand him.
Drop, you could have just said that. You could have just, like, shushed Darren for, like, half a second just to say it. Apparently the movie was called Get Hard.
I didn't want to shush Darren. I don't want to talk over you guys.
Kevin Hart, I don't mind. His stand-up is really good, but his movies, I don't really care. And it tends to be the same thing over and over again, especially when he does shit with Dwayne Johnson. So,
are you done back there?
No.
Okay.
It's a missa.
It's a missa. I'm being pet. She likes the way the short hair feels in her hand.
Yeah, I actually trimmed off the beard and baked my head today because it was fucking hot.
Are we ever going to see the cue ball, or is it forever under a hat?
It might forever be under a hat unless I'm in a suit.
Unless you're in a suit. Yeah, I'm starting to get like a dent in my head from how often I wear these freaking headphones.
Yeah, that'll happen. There was one time when I was in web design and development. I did like a overnight stint in programming, and I fell asleep on the keyboard. And a buddy of mine that I entrepreneured with, he would tell me that story that you just get into fucking modes where you just start forgetting, like what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened to me, and I just fell asleep right at the desk, and I woke up and I had the keyboard imprint on my head.
And a bunch of like T, I, and G's just across your page.
Dude, that would be, yeah, I wish.
You just put it in as art, make your millions.
But yeah, the celebrities that I ran into, I never met, but I kind of met Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was a dick. Steven Seagal, he was a dick. My dad had lunch with Sandra Bullock by pure happenstance. I guess she cut in line of him while he was at work. And she felt horribly bad and sat down, had lunch with him, and I think that's how the story goes. But I've met Brandy. Someone I know met Dwayne Johnson. I think it was my cousin. He was doing reps of chess at the gym, and Dwayne Johnson towered over him. He's like, "Are you done?" my cousin's a big dude, and he's just like, "Yes, sir." And then my mom ran into Usher.
No, you said that wrong. It's Ursher.
Ursher?
Yeah. You listen to any of his songs, it's Ursher, baby.
Tara Reid I met. She's a sweetheart. I feel and I don't feel bad for Tara Reid. So
the only, like, I've met several over the years, but the only one that's ever really stuck out was actually one that came to our school and spoke to us, and that was Sid Higgs. Cool. He actually came to Simi High and talked to us. I don't know, it might have been my senior year then, if you don't remember it. But he was Captain Spaulding in Night of a Thousand Corpse, for anyone that doesn't know who he is. Died not too long ago. Kind of a loss. He was one of those dudes that was always the bad guy in all of those old, like all the old westerns that were filmed in Simi, like Gunsmoke, Bonanza.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the movie. Oh fuck! Now I can't even. Limitless.
Yes.
With what's his name? Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
The villain in that film. I met him at Canyon Club, where they hold the Borderline events.
All right.
And apparently McLovin from Superbad frequented Borderline a lot.
All right.
I actually saw him there once. Never met him. Brooke Hogan, met her. Linda Hogan, met her by sheer unfortunate happenstance.
Uh-oh. Is there a story, or are we moving on from this?
Small story. We were at a club, and okay, I can't really call it a club because it's in fucking Simi Valley, but whatever. You know what it is. It's the arena. And we were there.
Isn't that just a hotel bar?
Yeah, I don't remember why I was there. I just knew I'm like, this is where I'm going. And a buddy of mine from high school and elementary was there. We were talking, catching up, and all of a sudden Linda Hogan grabs him and yanks him to the dance floor, and he turns around and reaches out for him. He's like, "No! Save me!" I'm like, "That's the predator, man. You're the prey."
That is an alpha female. I mean, to be married,
Yeah.
That's his wife, right? Or is that his daughter?
Ex-wife. Linda is the ex-wife.
All right. To be married to the Hulkster, you have to be an alpha female.
You do and you don't. I mean, I think by nature, a guy like Hulk Hogan,
you know what,
is probably you're attracted.
You brought up wrestling in some mess.
No, I said I did a Linda Hogan story. You brought up Hulk Hogan.
It's all right.
That does not count. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. That is the shit of bullshit. All right.
So apparently, Dramos knew BB King, which that's kind of cool.
That's super cool. I've always been a good fan of BB King. I've never been a big fan of blues necessarily, but BB King I always liked.
Yeah, I just liked what he was able to do with the entire genre of it. Again, I'm not a big fan of blues either. Like, if I'm in a certain mood, I can listen to it, but after a while, it's not even that it's makes me sad or anything. It's that muted trumpet that randomly comes in that just bugs the shit out of me.
That's a little unorthodox. So for a trumpet to come in a blues jam,
I understand
is
it's
a
more
little unorthodox.
It's more jazz. I understand that, which
Yeah.
is I don't really care for jazz either. But there's like a decent amount of crossover, at least in my eyes, of like blues and jazz.
Yes, there can be crossovers like that, especially when you get to like the sort of the Cajun and Creole
Yeah.
styles. You can get some crossover. With blues, more traditionally, if you're dealing with a brass section, you're more than likely to run into a saxophone, and saxophones are in general just sexy. But
Can I just point out to the musician in this thing that a saxophone is not brass? A saxophone is a
know.
woodwind.
thank you.
You're
Whatever.
welcome.
Thank you for the correction. Yeah, I was like thinking in my head, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna be wrong here, but whatever. I just threw it out there. But
I played the French horn. I was part of the brass section.
saxophones in general are sexy. I love listening to them. I love the sound. You're probably
I have
more
not.
inclined to. You're probably more inclined to hear that in a blues riff. So for blues in general, a lot of it can get pretty redundant. But BB King is one of those, which is why I was a fan of Green Day for so long. Is BB King took the simplicity of blues and blues riffs and just made it that much more exponential.
Speaking of music,
Fucker.
I don't know what that was for, but okay. But speaking of music, correct me if I'm wrong, but ska is Americanized mariachi. Prove me wrong.
Damn it, drop. You son of a bitch. What was your question again?
It wasn't my question. It was a statement that ska is Americanized mariachi. Yeah. It's got the trumpet section. It has the repetitiveness. It even has like not necessarily the same like vocal riffing of it, but it does have it's basically the pop music that has a brass section to it.
All right, so first of all, drop. I'm gonna get back to you in a second because now I actually have to go get a fucking water. No, I'll actually outright disagree with you on that. So
Really?
yeah, even in most forms of music, the exception being something like ska, is the bass guitar or equivalent is always going to follow the beat of the drum, not the beat of the cymbal necessarily. Now a rhythm guitar is going to follow the bass. All right, they're playing the exact same notes at the exact same time between the two of them and the drummer.
Okay.
All right, but a sort of lead guitarist, or maybe if you're trying to throw like Guns N' Roses' "Sweet Child of Mine," where you're hitting guitar riffs in and out, that's going to follow cymbal work. All right.
Okay.
When you're dealing with ska, a lot of those rules go out the window. So one perfect example is if you're listening to Spiderwebs by No Doubt, and you listen very, very closely to the bass line does not follow the drums. It follows the drums to an extent, and it stays on beat, of course, but the bass completely drifts off course from the drummer.
Okay.
The drummer always stays consistent.
Yeah.
So in ska, traditionally, the bass and the drummer are not necessarily in sync.
Okay.
And that's its definition. Even in mariachi, you have the same, sort of 4/4 style where it's like you have that same style, but the bassist or the equivalent in that group,
the tuba,
it's going to be locked on with the drummer on that beat.
Well, I guess in that one, I don't even know if they have a bass drum for it. I think the tuba is the bass drum.
So in that context, if you don't have a drummer, or if you don't have a percussionist in the mariachi group that you're with, then yes, the tuba or the bassist or I forget the fucking not the stand-up bass, but it's smaller equivalent. I forget the name of it.
Not talking about a cello, right?
Yeah, cello.
Okay. It's not really a lot of cello, but
create it.
but so the whole thing is normally
Go
you just
create it.
have like normally it's like a string, like a trio of some kind, which is like, lead guitar, a, I don't want to call it a backup guitar, but I mean, there's the, I guess, backup guitar, and then you'll have something else in there, possibly a violin. But that's the one thing about like the mariachi dudes, is that they have so many different instruments that they bring into it, and that was the big thing that Doc, Darren, and Drop, if I buy a hydrate, do I get a 3-for-1? You have to go to each and every one of the streams in order to redeem them.
So Doc has a different rule for hydrate than I do, which I'm about to go get a water so I can help Drop with his redemption.
Darren's a little bitch about it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not fucking stupid.
No,
like
Michael was dumb.
Yeah, Michael was dumb. Michael was the example that we needed. And for those like wanting to know that
there
story,
it is. Fuck you. I'm putting it up there.
I didn't say it doesn't count. That's 2 that you're adding that does not fucking count. So go fuck yourself.
Just say it now. I've already given you the point.
For those interested, a buddy of mine, Michael, he's a streamer, Micropony, hilarious dude. When he started streaming, he created a redemption point called Hydrate, and he thought it was a full bottle of water every single time somebody redeemed it, and he did it for some minimal amount, like 500 points.
And
something minimal.
And so he, not thinking about it or anything like that, but me being a fucking troll.
Do this.
What?
While you do this, I'm gonna go get
okay. Me being an absolute fucking troll, I had like several thousand points. So I redeemed like 10 bottles of water. And then other people caught on and they started redeeming stuff. He had no cooldown on it. It was like 500 points. And I mean, it was just, it was nuts. I think he had like, if he actually had drank that much, I think he was up to something like, he would have had water poisoning, like 100%. But he was up to, God, I'm gonna say 30 bottles of water by the end of it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, fine. I'll do 8 ounces for everyone, not a bottle. And we're like, okay, you're still at like 9 gallons. He's like, maybe I'll do 1 ounce per. And I'm just like, okay, like, but you're still Michael, at buddy, like half a gallon.
You did not think this through, man.
So, this is so...
It's stated in mind that it's a sip, not a gulp.
So. He's a little bitch about it.
Absolutely. I ain't that stupid.
It's okay. I get around that by just dumping a bunch of channel points.
All right. If I really need it, I could completely discern them and, modify them later.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, but... And so the whole thing is that's why my thing is so incredibly specific. One, I know... first off, I know Drop and I know Darren, and if I did not put a limit on it, my first fucking stream, they would have had me down an entire fucking case. And it would have been done, but that's it. And that would have been it. And it would have been
I wouldn't have been that cruel. I would have paid attention to what everybody else was doing and like, okay, let's redeem enough to where it's no more than a gallon, because that's doable.
Here's the whole thing. I already put myself at just under a gallon. Is what my limit is.
But you, the motherfucker, redeemed Choose My Loadout and Broadway musical comms for Warzone.
All right, you know what? I have to say, and I'm gonna tell you, I was giving myself my points back.
Why?
So that I could do it again.
Just keep watching; you'll build them back up.
Well, no, I've only done it once or twice actually, and it was one of them that I did it was because you weren't doing the musical again. Because I dropped another 50 on that.
No, because I think it was the next day while you were watching. I think I did the Broadway musical comms. I think you redeemed it like towards the end of the stream.
I redeemed it during it, right before you were about to remove it. You're like, no, fucker, only once per stream. Or only once per game. And then you removed it right at the end of that game.
No, because I didn't know how. Like, I have 102,000 points from you. All right, for your stream. So that's 2 choose my loadouts or Broadway musical comms or whatever the fuck I set them to. I don't remember. But I know someone like you would go just batshit fucking crazy, where it's like every fucking game you'd be redeeming choose my loadout, and you'd be doing something fucked up like you did the other day.
You played better with that shit on the table than you did in any other game that day.
I was running around with a 1911 forever.
I know, it was great. So my loadout for him was a ballistic knife and a riot shield?
No. It was a riot, because I didn't have that shit. I had a riot shield and a fucking screwdriver.
Right, the screwdriver.
I got so mad that my webcam PC.
Oh, by the way, I built that class with the nail gun and screwdriver. So I went through and actually did the unlock for the nail gun. So you could do what everyone else does and buy it. It's like 1,000 fucking Call of Duty points, whatever it is, and it's the cool looking one with like the nail sticking out of it. Yeah. But it's literally the same exact weapon because you cannot modify the nail gun. But
really, because I've never turned it on, so
in order to get it, you have to get 5 kills with a special weapon in 15 different games. Special weapons include the ballistic knife, the crossbow, and the pipe cleaner. So I went into plunder with the pipe cleaner from the air as I'm diving in on people. You have no idea how many. What the fuck? Oh, it was amazing.
I should try that.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun. I want to do, because by the way, Plunder's trios. So I'm running a solo. I was dropping only in Storage Town.
Yeah.
And just coming straight down on people and landing as my round hits. Oh, dude, it was so much fun.
A screwdriver is not a one-hit kill. Like a melee.
I feel like you looking into the camera is looking directly at me for this one.
Yep. For those interested, it does not kill them in one hit. Unlike a katana. I think a katana is like a one-hit kill.
Okay, if you had one of those things, but you didn't. That's not
perfectly fine with that, because at least with a katana, it's like I can hack and slash, and I might have a chance if I sneak up on someone. I'm like, all right, dead silence is a necessity here.
Yeah,
no,
but
you gave me a fucking tool from the fucking toolbox.
I did let you pick your tacticals, though.
Yeah, shut up. No.
I lost hope in Warzone when the throwing knife is not a one-shot fucking kill.
It is if you headshot him.
No, it's not.
So there's
not with full armor.
There is a there was a video going around that was showing people that were lining up their crosshairs with a sniper rifle on the person's head. Like, you could see the crosshair on the head, and they fire it, and the shot actually drops instantly. So apparently, the bullets have true trajectory, where they raise and then lower as you fire your weapon. So if you are in like a close quarter thing and you fire your weapon, apparently the bullet will hit lower than where your crosshair is. So it's only truly on crosshair at like, I think it's like 50 meters. And then you have your drop off or whatever the fuck it is much farther out. Normally we don't notice it because, I mean, let's be honest, we're actually pretty damn good with our snipers. All right. You know, you with your HDR, me with my SRP, like we're pretty fucking good. I I actually did it on stream one day, and I'm like, this is too damn easy in solos. I think I had like 13 kills. I get bored because it's like, okay, he's dead. Okay, he's dead. And yeah, I rack up kills, I get a higher KD and everything else, but I just get bored. And that's why I start rushing people.
See, my thing about Warzone, this is where I run into frustrations with Kevin, sometimes you, is if I want to just rush and kill people, I'll go play multiplayer or plunder. But when I play Warzone, I want to play Warzone to win it. All right. Yes, I would like hijinks. Yes, I would like angry gamers. I like content like I got to upload today. Hey, why didn't my alerts? Oh, there it is. Hey, thanks, Epsilon. I'm like, that took a second.
Can I point out that you don't have an alert in your chat for it?
No, I don't. It's probably a bot that I need, which I just haven't set up yet.
All
I
right.
do get in the chat. I do get the chat things for subs, but not for follows. But thanks, Epsilon. So again, if I want to play a game where I just hack and slash or I just shoot people, rush people, blah blah blah, I'm gonna play multiplayer. I'm gonna play plunder. Why? Because there's no expectation to win. But if I'm gonna play Warzone, there is an expectation to win, which is why I don't like rushing people. I like taking things cautiously or playing it IRL as best as possible. And yes, the variable to that is there's going to be those out there like you or Kevin who don't play that way, who play the rushing game, and that's kind of counterintuitive to what I do.
I mean, we've talked about this like several times. We keep going back to this thing, but it's really funny. Like watching Darren play when he's in a group, he has this solo mindset still, and he's just like, oh, there I go again. See, I rushed, I died. Well, yeah, fucker, you ran into 4 people by yourself.
No, because we've gone into several situations now when we were playing with the team, and it was a 1v1, and I still die because I rushed it. And in some instances, I get the point to rushing. Earlier today, when me and Joe were playing, there was a team that we were basically hunkered on our building. We were so well stacked. We had everything you could think of: precision, self-reses, gas masks, satchels, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Joe doesn't run shrapnel, which means he only has 1 lethal. And we even had a what's it called? An ammo box that we deployed. So he had an extra lethal. We had that many on the fucking building. All points were covered. A team came up because Joe was a bounty. They were trying to rush him. They tripped both Bettys and one of them went down, and him and I both ran in to rush. So yes, there is a point in time to rush, but that's for me. It's not all the time.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, dude. If we wanted to win games, like if that's what you wanted to see is just Warzone victory, whatever the hell it is, little red writing at the bottom, we play plunder. Fuck, I was in first place by myself in trios. Okay?
Yeah. Wow.
I think someone's at the door. Give me 1 sec, guys.
Sure. So the game that he's referring to, my dad got Warzone, and he's learning how to play, and he's mostly a keyboard and he is a keyboard and mouse guy, I should say, not mostly, but he's trying to learn the whole controller thing. And Doc was nice enough to join us, and so we did plunder so my dad could get used to the concept of Warzone, of like looting shit and interacting with doors and objects, whatever. Doc just went on his own in plunder trios. He wound up getting us the first place just by himself.
I had like 15 kills before I died, and I only ended up dying because I finally got jumped by a bunch of people, and then my next death was trying to like help his dad out, and I got sniped. And then he DC'd.
I was questioning why I'm not followed, and then I remembered my old account. Oh, got it. Yeah, I keep telling my dad these like simple instructions, and I'm like, Dad, click on social. It's a triangle. It tells you on screen what to press. He's like, what do I press? Tells you on screen. I'm at the Warzone menu. Press triangle.
See, See, I would understand if it was like keyboard and mouse, because a lot of the things are not there on your screen because there's a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit on screen, and this is why I kept telling him, I'm like, be ready to buy a keyboard and mouse, because you're gonna use the controller and you're not used to it. I know how you play, and I know this shit needs to be simple enough, because the controller can be complicated for a keyboard and mouse player. The entire fucking game is already complicated, so you need simple shit as possible.
Speaking of Warzone, are you going to play some tonight, or are you just gonna run off and do your wings, or what's your deal tonight?
Oh shit, that reminds me, I gotta
Yep.
finish laundry. Yeah, it is Wing Wednesday. Getting my buffalo wings. I will be back 1 second.
And then there was 2. Drop, how are you? You look very bored.
I'm tired.
Well, then go to sleep.
I'm always tired.
I know. Then always sleep.
No, my AC in my house is broken, so it's hotter than shit in here.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, Epsilon wants to know if your D3's working now.
Yes, it is Epsilon. Got it working.
Cool. Yeah, last night ended up with quite a few new followers and everything else, because, you know, that was the D3 night. Who was it? It was Tress was my warm body for a little bit, and then so was other Darren, or Goomba. Oh, speaking of which, Goomba has someone that needs to be invited to the clan.
Oh, do you want me to do that now? If they're still on?
Yeah, you can probably ping them in Discord. And then see if they need to go on or anything like that. If not, I can always do it after. I'm pretty sure right after this thing ends, I'm going to go with Missa to the store to buy more water and drinks and whatever else. I didn't think I was going to go through the case of water that quick. But apparently I did. But, hey, Drop just logged on to D3.
It's a full house unit. It's just freezing up, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I live on the opposite side of where the AC unit is in this house. It's a pretty big house that I live in, but yeah, the AC has trouble pushing the cool air all the way over to this room. So when this room heats up, like when I'm running the PlayStation on Warzone and having to run my fans on high for stream, dude, this room fucking swelters. So.
Oh, by the way, Epsilon, was it you or was it Mass that was asking for a like a MTV Cribs thing? I think it was Matt. I think it was Madara. Yeah,
So
they've been asking me for like a house tour, and I'm just like, not much to show. Like literally, you see half the house right here.
That was why Epsilon was asking.
It was Epsilon. All right. Yeah, we might end up doing that at some point. We'll see. By the way, guys, everyone that is in here before I lose too many people, starting tomorrow will be my 31-day stream challenge. I will stream every single day of July for at least 1, if not 2 hours. I haven't decided if it's going to be 1 or 2 hours yet. But yeah,
believe in you.
I will be streaming every single day, so yeah. Y'all motherfuckers better be there. And he's gone. It is. Every 38 minutes, Darren.
Darren, edit your router and set your Discord to high priority.
Out from under my desk. You don't belong there.
I hate Discord as it is, so I refuse to give Discord any kind of priority.
Back in my day, we didn't use Discord.
I still don't. The only reason why I use Discord is for you.
We use MySpace. If you weren't on my top 8, I didn't talk to you.
Oh, dude, I remember that shit. I remember people getting pissed. You're like, why aren't I in your top 8?
Yeah, I always had the 8 friends that said fuck top 8 in that order. FUCKTOP 8. Yeah, dude, I am old as shit, all right? And Darren's older than shit. Well, if I'm old as shit and you're older than I am, that would make you older than shit.
I had to laugh when one of my friends on Facebook posted, "When can we add songs to Facebook and Twitter so people know what we like?"
Oh, when they learn HTML code to do it.
When we've officially reached the generation where MySpace didn't exist.
MySpace is still very much
It's still-
prevalent.
still
Justin
kicking.
Timberlake owns it, and it is a huge thing for a lot of musicians. Because
Actually,
you
I
can.
believe I believe he sold his shares of MySpace.
Oh, did he? Oh, now I
Yeah.
want to look this up. Who owns MySpace?
I don't remember who owns it specifically now. No, Epsilon. I'm not that old. Thank you. I'm not even 40. I'm 37. Thank you. Be specific here.
From 2005 to 2008, it was the largest social media network.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was the successor to Friendster, because that was AOL was technically the first social network. But in terms of social networks that we know, Friendster was the first.
I guess. I mean,
MySpace, where each social network, the things that they got right, the successor did better. That's basically how it worked. And you have the big three. You have Friendster, MySpace, then Facebook. Friendster's concept was just the social networking and connectivity, blah, blah, blah. MySpace had that in spades. But the one thing that MySpace threw out that Facebook latched onto was knowing when somebody was online. And that was a key component to Facebook's success. So
I think it's. I honestly, I just think the key to success was that the younger generation wanted something different.
well,
It's-
Facebook in on itself was different because its look was much more simple than MySpace. At least the initial rollout of Facebook was a lot simpler than MySpace was.
Well, it still
The
is. I mean, the
the other-
customizations though are never going to be what MySpace was, because I mean, you could do your own HTML.
Well, I'm gonna come back to that, but with Facebook, the other big thing with them is they had no ads. They didn't cater to that, and to an extent, they still don't. What they do is they do targeted advertising within the fucking feed. So you're not getting hit with pop-ups or anything like that, but you're getting targeted advertising to where Facebook can charge an arm and a leg. Why? Because their shit's just that good. But Facebook had a simplistic feel that you could not customize. Facebook or MySpace, yes, you could customize it with HTML code, but how often did you come across somebody's MySpace page that took forever to fucking load because they had so much shit going in the background?
Well, I mean,
So-
now it wouldn't be bad. I mean, could you imagine if they'd actually swapped that, if Facebook had come out first and then MySpace after? Especially with
Hey.
like the internet connections that we have now. Because I mean, when we were on MySpace, we were still on fucking dial-up. All right.
I wasn't, but
Oh, I was.
Um,
I was on dial-up for fucking years.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if who came out with what first. If MySpace came out after Facebook, if MySpace would have been more successful.
hmm
MySpace originally was for music and artists, and that transcended into just individual profiles. But
I don't
the end of the
think
day-
it was.
at the end of the day, Facebook got the ideology of social networking right, and it's all about being connected all the time.
So then how do
And-
you explain things like Twitter and Instagram that have way fewer things than either MySpace or Facebook? Granted,
Because the
Facebook owns Instagram, I understand that.
Well, because even if Facebook didn't own Instagram, Epsilon, I'll come back to you. Even if Facebook didn't own Instagram, you have two very different animals, not just from each other, but from Facebook. So the original platform's intent behind Twitter was to just shoot out very quick
140
Uh,
characters, that was it.
140 characters or less in tweets. where you can directly communicate with specific people, or you can start a hashtag where you can start like a little chain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's all about text. They then transcended into the media side where you can throw in pictures and, retweet people, blah, blah, blah. Instagram was, and to this day, to an extent, is still solely focused on the image. You can throw a caption in it, you can comment on it, you can like it. That's about it. You can't reply with a GIF on it. You still really can't do much else other than like or comment. So
I mean, I guess what
the
I'm
concept
getting
is still there, but you can hashtag things where that too goes into a pool and starts a chain from there. Facebook is slowly dying or turning into politics and Karen zones. I don't know necessarily. I don't think necessarily whether or not it's dying, but what was equally true for MySpace is equally true for Facebook. It's all about who comes up with the next big thing and what that next big thing is. Facebook is definitely at the forefront of what social is, the mecca of social networking. Let's just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade.
So for me, Facebook is nothing more than Twitter and Instagram combined.
Sure.
And it has been.
Sure.
And hi, Mom.
And absolutely, you are also correct. Yes, they are taking political sides. It's very obvious. The big tech is taking political stances. Surprise, surprise. And for anyone that gets pissed off at that idea, I'm sorry. They're private entities. They can do what the fuck they want. So whether or not you agree with it, I certainly don't. But guess what? They're a private enterprise. They can do what the fuck they want.
Yeah, I don't know, Epsilon. I don't know why he butchers your name and puts another I in there.
I just call him Epsilon.
Yes, Epsilon, not Epsilon.
Oh, sorry. Did I call him Epsilon?
That's all you've called him since he's been in any of the chats, like ever.
Oh,
for literally months now.
The not Epsilon. Where do people get the extra I? Oh, that's what you're talking about. I was trying to catch up in chat, and you're throwing me under the fucking bus.
Always. And Mom, hello. How are you tonight? You're up kind of late. You might actually just be catching the end of this. Because Darren has his buffalo wings that he needs to go eat. Basically, what Darren does is works out all week long just so he can eat buffalo wings.
That's not true.
It's the same reason why Ray works out so much, is so he can drink beer.
I would also negate that a little bit, depends on how hard you work out, but...
Well, me and him have had that conversation already, so...
The goal is not to have buffalo wings, it's just so I can be... I work out differently than other people. My goal when it comes to a gym regimen is I need to be ready to handle a fucking situation. People laugh at that. Anything, a fight, whatever. Mm-hmm. People laugh at the idea, and then a fucking, like Thousand Oak shooter happens. So, my goals to working out have nothing to do with the way I look. I couldn't give two fucks if I had the Zac Efron abs or if I had the Stone Cold beer gut. Right? Couldn't give a shit. As long as I'm able to handle a situation, that's why I go to the gym. That's why I work out. That's why I do what I do. So I still have the freedom of enjoying things like beer and buffalo wings and burgers. However, I do have to compartmentalize that now that I'm in my mid-30s. So can't really eat burgers left and right anymore.
Aren't you technically late 30s now?
Yeah, late 30s.
Late 30s. Damn.
You're mid 30s or late 30s?
Mid 35.
Mid.
Directly in the middle.
So, how close are you to moving the bathroom closer to the bed so you can cut down on the traveling time?
I'm the opposite. I moved my stuff closer to the fridge. So, I mean, like I said, like this whole thing right behind me, I will do this. I don't know if you guys have seen. I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen this at some point. That's my fridge. Like, this is how far I go to my fridge. Missa won't let me get a. She won't let me get a mini fridge. because
They do suck up a lot of juice.
well, I've got this spot right here under my desk, and I have nothing. I'm not using anything, so
It would definitely add a little bit to your electricity bill. Not much, but
do you see all the flashy lights?
a computer really doesn't run that much, man.
I beg to differ.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But I suppose it depends on the computer.
I have an 1800 watt power supply.
So if it involves computers, wow, my mom's saying you're mean. Even my mom is sticking up for me right now. Damn.
The circuit already shorts when we run the washer and warm something into my. Oh, so you guys have that on the same circuit. My folks have like you've been to my folks' place.
Mhm.
They have a full-on fucking house, and where they have the microwave plugged in is on the same circuit as the air conditioning. So if they want to use the microwave, the AC has to be turned off.
So for us, everything is on the same circuit. So everything in the kitchen, so toaster, dishwasher, fridge, microwave, plus the washer and dryer that's right behind me, plus my computer and the entire setup that it's on.
Heather was chiming in. Laugh out loud. Ray for sure works out to drink beer.
Yes, to drunk beer. To drunk beer.
The drunk beer. Like Snatchels and Persian airstricks and stomping rounds.
Oh, well, I'm calling him in his late 30s because he's in his late 30s. The dude's old.
Oh, no. Mom Janine, he's not even making fun of me. He's just accurate.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If we did that, yes, next year I will be in my late 30s. But Darren is in his late 30s now, which is why I'm cracking these jokes.
Which is why I get to laugh as you walk next in line.
That's fine. And you make fun of me for being in my late 30s when you become early 40s, motherfucker. Jesus.
And I get to make fun of both of you.
Goddamn youngins.
Back in my day.
Yeah, right? But I think that's a good spot before Darren's Discord cuts out again. It's getting about to be that time.
Not a bad idea. Oh, people couldn't hear. That's fine. Interesting.
Yep, drops the young buck. What? Hold on. What am I waiting for?
Gotta show your
There you go.
mom her grandpa.
Oh, right. That is a thing. Mom, this is just for you. Showing you off the grandpups. This is Batty, of course, if you guys haven't met Batty before.
Come here, baby.
Thank you, Heather.
Grandma wants to see.
I did not do that on purpose. Thank you.
Alright, Batty, go ahead.
Love hearing you kids talk about
Let
age.
go, Harley.
Come here, Harley.
Oh,
I don't talk about age. I'm as young as I feel, and
Oof.
I may be 37, but I
Over
feel
here.
like I'm 34.
Over here, say hi to your friends. Hi, guys. Yeah, she's not actually wanting to. She wants down.
come here, baby.
Ow, 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 ow.
Or go down.
Miss Heather says hi.
Miss Heather says hi.
Hi.
Creeping out the corner.
Here, we'll. There.
Nice.
Missa, scoot back in your chair a little bit. Now we can see Missa also. And Harley. But, alright, does anyone...
That's about to end it.
Yes, does anyone in here have someone that we should raid, that we have not raided in a while?
Heather, don't say that because no, you won't.
No, you
stream.
won't, because she's already done it, and you sat there in a fucking turtleneck, and you had to be absolutely drunk to do it.
Heather I love you, but you constantly say you're going to stream when you never do. So you can't put Missa up to that challenge when I know you're not going to honor that.
Yeah, and yeah, Heather, I'm sorry, but like you keep saying, I'm gonna stream when this happens. I'm gonna stream when this. Each of these things happen, and you still don't stream.
I'll actually, I'll throw out a deal between Heather and Missa. All right, if Heather, I'm shy and ugly. Shut the fuck up.
All right,
Dudes are hot,
I need to time her out for being that self-deprecating because we all know she's cute.
If you stream, make affiliate. Stream enough to make affiliate. Then you can throw that challenge to Missa. Is that agreeable, Doc?
I mean, I don't know. Gotta ask Missa. I don't make deals in Missa's name. Missa makes deals in my name. She tells me when I'm supposed to show up and what kind of pants I'm supposed to wear.
I'm just trying to tee Heather up to start fucking streaming. But
here's the thing, Heather. You don't have to. Okay, so let's say, let's just say for the sake of argument, that it is exactly what you say, that you are shy and ugly. This is what you do. Take the camera. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You can be shy, you can be ugly, it doesn't matter.
And clearly Twitch allows half-naked girls to stream while in a fucking like inflatable jacuzzi, whatever.
I'll just keep this here just to kind of show you that we can do this.
Enjoy the visual.
Yeah, right? Me and my freaking comfy pants.
I think it's a yeah, there's like deal.
That's it though. Seriously, don't wear a fucking turtleneck. And that's it.
Alright guys, I am out. It is wing time.
Alright, but I'm still looking for someone to raid, guys.
Oh, I don't know.
TTV
X-Plane?
Is the X-Plane streamer?
There's Fluffy, and then there's Chaotic that Dravo suggested.
Is X-Plane even live right now?
Yes, Dutch Doothfly. I don't know how to say that. Hopefully, I said it correctly.
All right, so
you're gonna have to send me the name.
I have dropped a raid on Chaotic Calling before, but I've never seen this Duluth fly. Duluth. But I can't even pronounce his name. How the hell am I gonna raid him?
Duluth fly.
I'm sending you a message in Discord, Darren.
I think it's one of those like an anagram names. Duluth fly, the love fly, the love fly.
So yeah, you know what? Why not? Oh, it's Duluth, Minnesota. All right. Minnesota.
Let me know when you're ready.
Raid. No, Dravos, I know who Chaotic is. I've raided him before, when you brought him up. But hurry up and play with me, Darren. Wow!
I'm not playing tonight.
Those deludes, that's pretty, like, up there and, like...
Yeah, I'm going to get wings.
It's like mild porn. Oh, I love her. All right, guys. We're gonna go check him out, and yeah, have yourselves a good night. I will be on tomorrow and for the next 31 days straight. Well, not straight, but for the next 31 days, I will be streaming every single day, at least a little
Thanks
bit.
to Ray and Heather for the subs.
Yep.
And Epsilon for the follow.
And Drop. Yep, Mom, I love you too. Guys, have yourselves a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.